What do you like about corn?
It's cold. A big corn that knobs. It has the juice. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's cold. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, it got amazing thing.
Hello. How is everyone
friends.
doing today?
Oh my gosh. You kind of sound like you're a DJ. Like you're about to be like, all right, guys, you ready to get going in here?
Yeah, I'm DJ Bolly B.
What?
That was Polly D, but that was a very bad pun. Tried to Brandon Bennett, BB, Bolly
Be
B.
a Doja plant. Well, we have kind of a fun episode. It's like a part 2 to like an episode we did before, little neurodivergent plant parent topic, but we got to do our banter first. Mine's kind of like I'm the only one who keeps a banter list. I don't know if you have any in your head. Brandon just kind of goes in the moment. He's usually not thinking ahead
I'm
on
very
stuff.
bad with lists and planning.
Okay. It's fine. But mine's a little bit of a high-low, like bad things, good things. But
Yeah, you've had a crazy week.
isn't it amazing that I'm still alive? I'm here. I still have a positive attitude and a positive outlook on life. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm doing it. I was really excited about today because Izzy took the day off and we had like our fun little pumpkin cream cold brew adventures.
You had a whole little date day.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then we got McDonald's and went home and, then I was on the phone with insurance, but we'll get there. First, a really fun thing that I wish Brandon did with me, but I had to do alone, which aren't you proud of me for doing it alone?
I am very proud of you because I wouldn't have done it alone.
I did it. I kind of was like, I'm doing it whether you guys do it or not.
And I
hope you do it.
I even told Brenna when we were in the building, like what the in and out, and she was like, how did she do that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
It was cool. I don't know. And a lot of other awkward plant people do it. And if they do it, I can do it. Anyways, so if maybe some of you guys probably saw this on TikTok. It did really well. Did you see the video that I posted? Or have you not been on TikTok in a hot minute?
I haven't really been on TikTok lately.
My little video did kind of well. It got like almost 300,000 views of like my State Fair video thing.
Hell yeah.
But anyways, for those who did not, or for those who missed it, I entered a couple plants into the Minnesota State Fair.
Wait, I saw the one where you were like, I'm bringing these plants. I don't think I saw an after.
Well, maybe you didn't finish the video because the entire it's like all in there and like
Then I did see it, I think.
And maybe you were really high. I don't know what's going on.
Actually, yeah.
Because
I've had some deep dive TikTok days.
Sometimes you just go ghost at night, and when I wake up and I don't have any like Snapchats from you or Sam, I'm just like, I hope they're live.
But you have 42 TikToks sent to you. After I'm ignoring your texts, I'm ignoring your snaps. You could be calling me, FaceTiming me. I'm just swiping them away.
This is true.
Sending you
Sometimes
TikToks.
there will be like unopened Snapchats where I'm asking Brandon questions, and I'm like, boop. Brandon sent you a message on TikTok, and I'm like, all right. But anyways, I entered my plants into the Minnesota State Fair Horticultural Society plant show. Minnesota has a pretty awesome state fair. For those who don't know, when I got home the other night, I kind of went on a deep dive, and I was like, I really want to know how big it is compared to like Texas, because I know Texas is like the next big one.
Yeah,
because theirs runs for like a whole month almost.
But isn't Texas is like many times bigger?
Not quite. So I actually looked on the map and I looked at the little thing that's like, I know it's not super accurate probably, but you know how like there's like a little meter thing where it's like, this is 0.25 miles. I did a little iPad thing because I've been on the iPad, and I used Procreate to like measure the little line. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I did the thing. Yeah. And theirs is a little bit bigger, obviously, but it's actually not as big as much bigger as I thought it was going to be. That's not English.
Isn't it in like a field?
I don't really know. It kind of looked like he was off the freeway. Write into us and let us know.
I'm pretty sure
email us
when
if
it
you know
started
about
getting
it.
big, I saw like a news story on it, and it looked like it was like in a field.
Theirs runs for almost a month long, but I don't think they have as many like average view or average attendees. Minnesota State Fair is like kind of crazy, and they still break records every single year, which is nuts.
It was packed yesterday.
Yeah. Was that your first time going to the State Fair? That's awesome. I'm sad I wasn't there with you to show you around, to go to the fun things.
Well, I will say, so I was with Mary McBrenna and then her friend Alex, and then we met up with Lauren Pink, and they all knew the State Fair like the back of their hands. They're like when people are coming, they're like, where are you? I'm by this food. And I'm like, What?
Yeah. There's a couple like things like obviously Sweet Martha's Cookies has actually like multiple locations now, which I remember. I've been going to State Fair for my whole life. I remember when there was only one big one and you just had to wait in line forever. And now there's 3 locations.
I didn't see a single one.
What the hell? You probably did, and you just
were they in the
around
children's areas? Because I
No.
closed my eyes when I was walking past those.
No, they're not. One of them's on the way north side. One of them's in the way busy area, like right next to the grandstand.
Okay. Didn't go to the way north side.
And then one of them's like kind of in the middle towards the bottom. So like you probably went by that. It's kind of smaller though, and you maybe didn't notice. They finally put up ropes though, so it makes sense to like, because it was always just like free for all, bunch of lines, a nightmare. But anyways, I entered my plants in. I at first was just going to enter in like 2 plants and see how it goes. And then Kaylin, her name is Up Close and Plantsinal on Instagram, was like, bring a bunch. Like, are you kidding me? She's like, I'm bringing a shit ton. I'm like, I'm loading up my whole car. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. And I was just like, I don't know. I just don't think anything looks that amazing. And she's like, don't be too picky. Just bring whatever. So I picked out 5 plants. That's kind of all I felt like bringing. I didn't want to make multiple trips because I've never done this. I don't know how awkward it's going to be. So you can go watch the video on TikTok to see what I brought. But I brought 5 plants and I went home with 5 ribbons.
Hell yeah.
That is crazy. One of my plants got 2 ribbons. One of them got none. They did not like that my squamiferum was on a pole. Even Kaylin got some notes about like poles and like sticks and things. So I don't think I'm going to bring a whole lot next year that are like climbing. So I think those are a little bit newer.
I feel like you'd need like, the fully developed pole, like.
But I don't know. Maybe I'll bring a fancy pole next year and see how that goes. But still,
bejazzled.
They didn't like they also wanted the like plastic pots to be like if there's a plastic pot inside like another pot, it needs to be flush with the pot. There can't be plastic sticking out the top. So they made a note about that. One of my plants wasn't even in like a pot. I still won first place in like prayer plants, which is kind of crazy. I was like first place in prayer plants and first place in ferns. Those are like not super easy plants.
How many prayer plants and
prayer plants and ferns?
Player plants and perns. We're there.
I actually don't know, but enough to where I did not win by default. I had to beat people to get it. So that's fun. Every single one I had to beat people. I even beat myself. I got first and second place in aeroids, which now I think is my goal. Now I feel like I got to do it next year. I'm like, I got to sweep aeroids again, right?
So there was a best of the best houseplants.
So here's the thing. There's separate categories, and I can even pull it up on my phone. But houseplant favorites had like its own category, but did not include cacti. So cacti and succulents were in its own class. But then houseplant favorites is technically the section that I was in, and then that's split up into stuff like aeroids, which was all together, and then ferns. I don't think there was like a special cactus one in there. There was obviously the Marantas, and now I'm forgetting the other ones, but just like random types of houseplants.
So like what was the best award one of your plants could have won?
I don't know. Best in like the whole thing? I actually don't know. I wonder if they have it on the website now, because every time I keep checking, it still has the 2021 winners. Which, by the way, when I showed up, I had signed up incorrectly online. Because Brandon remembers I was sending them like, here's how you sign up, and you were like, this is from 2018. What the hell? I'm not sure how I found that, and they're not sure either. They were very concerned. I don't know if I told you this, but they were like, getting their tech person on the phone, and they were like, where did you find that? Can you send me the link? Can I take a picture of it on my phone? It was a whole thing. And they were really just like, what the heck? We got to fix this, because they were really confused why only 3 people had signed up, period. And I was like, because probably a lot of them signed up through the other one, So you're still able to show up either way, because like a lot of old people do it and they're not expecting them to go online.
They don't even have internet.
Yeah. So you can just show up. They do prefer it if you let them know if you're bringing a lot of plants. But you can pull your car right up to the thing, and it's kind of fun because you show up. I mean, kind of stressful. You show up the day before the fair starts. I've never done that before, but oh my God, it was hectic. Everybody's showing up.
Well, I also will say I did not think that the fair was going to be actual streets.
Yeah, it is like, and it is actual state fairgrounds. Like, do you notice how a lot of those buildings are permanent? They're there all the time.
Because that's how the Wisconsin is, but it's not like, there's not roads. It's like a park. It's more like a theme park.
And you know what they did? It was so cute. Okay, so you know how like the first COVID Christmas, since we, have had multiple now. The first COVID Christmas, like not a whole lot of things are going on. It's not super safe, but they did this whole little like drive-through light show thing at the state fairgrounds, and my mom and I drove through. It was so cute because it was a bummer that we had to miss the fair that year. So it was nice to be able to drive around like in the winter and like actually go through the state fairgrounds and then see this big light show that was actually put together by a bunch of local artists and stuff. So
That's
very
cool.
fun. So
well,
I really
also
liked
I found out that the reason that they don't have liquor there, like you can only get beer and like some wines, is because it's like actual streets. It's like public property technically.
Oh yeah, so you can't like roam the streets with.
Yeah, even though it's closed off, it's still like real streets. Where that took me by surprise.
Did you go inside the Coliseum at all, or like the Miracle Birth Center? Any farmy things?
The Coliseum, yeah, because they had a lot of shops. That's where I got this hat. I have a hat with a fish on it because I am very mask from mask.
I was like, you really experienced the fair, huh? What food did you eat? You're like, I don't remember.
I had a stuffed olive.
The fuck?
Or deep fried olive. It was stuffed. It was wrapped in bacon. It was good. 10 out of 10 flavor. Texture was just not my jam. Olives in general, like I like them in a martini, but that's about it. And then like kind of mushy bacon wrapped around it and then deep fried. Like the textures were just a lot. I had the cream cheese garlic wontons from Caveat. They were good, but they were too flavorful. And that's weird for me to say. You know me, I like to season my foods. But it just like, there was so much garlic in it, it like overpowered the wonton. And then the pickle pizza.
You tried that? That's new this year.
I went back for a second.
Oh my
pickle
gosh,
pizza.
you liked it so much.
It was so good.
There's a lot of like interesting foods at the fair that are like acquired tastes type of foods. It's like a big deal to get into the fair too. Like you have to be good. And a lot of people like that do that every year. They make their whole income off those like 2 weeks.
I was very surprised at how many MLMs in real life, like infomercials, in real life. I was like, what is going on?
Like the My Pillow people are there.
Yeah, like they have a whole tent.
Yeah, and also like every political like person.
Oh, there was
there.
Heavy Republican. I was like, what the? I saw one of the politicians. Cecilia Davis, I think, or I don't know.
Interesting. I'm trying to flip through.
She was very pretty, but even though you're pretty doesn't mean you can have questionable morals.
Did you have any corn?
I didn't have any juice or lumps with knobs.
I love that we ADHD completely forgot that the corn song was at the beginning because we were like, oh my God, we have to get through the beginning without laughing and mentioning the corn song. And I completely forgot that it was even happening. I actually don't get corn at the fair because the corn stand is like a whole big thing. And oh my God, if you're local and you're there, you got to go to the corn stand at night because the workers get kind of crazy. They start dancing on the tables and shit. Yeah.
Oh, they do at Andy's too. They have like that little song and dance they did when I'm just trying to get my little caramel apple seltzer.
There was like baby pigs being born in the Miracle Birth Center when I went in. So cool. And I got to pet a cow. I love it. It was great.
I did want to get the elote from the Blue Barn, but I forgot to get it. That's the corn I was going to get. I don't like corn on the cob. I grew up in a town that had award-winning corn on the cob from Allen's Farm in Larson. No, not Larson. Yeah, Larson. Anyway. No, it's a weird small town. Anyway, it's such good corn that like corn just doesn't impress me.
Corn doesn't impress you?
It's got to have apparently
corn is like nothing. It's not a fruit or really a vegetable. It really doesn't provide you of any value, and our bodies can't even really process it.
It's just like it gives you some carbs, and that's about it.
Yeah, it has the juice.
It has a juice. It has a juice.
Yeah. So if you guys are not on TikTok and you listen to that whole beginning, you're very confused.
Well, I have a feeling that most people who listen to us are from TikTok.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. But there's some. I mean, I'm sure my mom has seen it too. My mom's on TikTok.
I thought because it was very low. Like there were only like a couple thousand views on the original video I remember
not views,
seeing it.
But I saw the original video.
And then all of a sudden the next day, everyone knew about it.
Everyone's talking about it. Izzy isn't even on TikTok, and she knows it, so it's great. We love it.
When I posted that meme of Lois, and then it had like the pill bottle, and it said that fucking corn song, I probably got like 30 hearts. I don't think I've ever gotten 30 hearts on a story before.
I love that. As I kind of scroll through and try to look for these classes or whatever, because I'm trying to figure out like what I actually want and how what it means and whatever. Because I was really confused, and Izzy was trying to explain it to me, and I was like, what? But the night that I brought my plants home, so they were there for 2 days. There was a lot of people commenting on my TikTok. They were like, "Oh, I want to go see them," and I was like, "They're gone." But they were there all day Thursday and all day Friday. So
well, even when we were there, Brenda's like, "Where are Nicole's plants?" And I was like, "They've been gone."
Yeah, they cycle out exhibits pretty regularly in some of those.
That building is a large building, but there's not much usable space.
Yeah, so they have to cycle in like every one of those rooms because it's like a big circle thing. Did you see like the Halloween stuff in the middle? Was that still there?
Well, yes, it was. And then I literally go, I bet this is sponsored by Bachman's. And then I looked up on the sign. It's sponsored by Bachman's.
Yeah, all their plants are all over the place at the fair. The night that I brought them home, I parked in the front of my house because it's just way easier to get into the front with like a big tub of plants, right? And by the way, you do kind of have to like drive into the fair at night, like while it's happening, to pick up your plants. So that's just a warning if you ever do it. But it was actually kind of easy because we pulled in and just parked in a little parking lot and didn't even have to drive around.
Because there's an entrance really close to there.
Yes, really, really close. So it wasn't too hard. And I actually had to walk through the whole like bazaar area, International Bazaar area, which I'm sure you're in. And all those drunk people, like I had to walk through them with my giant Pluto, like in a tub. It was a nightmare.
Well, no, that's where the party was at. I was like, Jesus, what's going on here?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So we get home, I bring the plants in, and the next morning I'm getting ready for work. It's a Saturday morning, and I get a knock on my door. Remember, you guys, I told you I have a no soliciting sign. So, like, why is someone knocking on my door? You know? And I'm like, shit. And I'm frozen because I'm standing in the living room. I have a tiny house. So I'm standing right there, like, feet away from the door. And I'm just, like, frozen. Because I'm not answering the door. I'm not even wearing, real clothes, really. So she stands there, and then a little bit, she knocks again. I'm like, okay, this seems serious. And she, like, looks, I kind of look at her vehicle. This girl stopped in the middle of the road to just go over to my house. And I'm like, what is going on?
You're like, am I about to be kidnapped?
Yeah, I'm just like, what's going on? And like when I opened the door, she was like halfway down the sidewalk. Like she was not close to my door. So maybe she was scared of who was going to come out and be like, who are you? Like Saturday morning. Because it was like 9 a.m. Saturday morning. Not too early, but she's like, is this your car? And I say, no, immediately because I thought she was talking about her car. And I'm like, oh, the gray one? Yeah, that's mine. And she's like, it's busted. And I'm like, what does that mean? I don't really know what that means. And I'm like, what? She's like, it's busted. And I don't know if I should say thank you. And I'm like, she's like, someone busted your windows. And I'm like, no. In my head, I'm just like, no, you're kidding. You're kidding me. No. And I was like, what? And I kind of wasn't really hearing things in the moment. And so I think she said something about how like it happened down the street too. And he was going down the street and did it to multiple cars. And I was like, are you kidding me? Some lady drives by and goes, whoa.
I didn't know that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I just tell the girl, thanks for letting me know. Because I mean, she parked her car in the middle of the street. I'm like, you can go. And then I literally Snapchat. I hadn't even looked at it. And I pulled up Snapchat and Snapchatted you guys. And I was just like.
Literally, like, and I had looked at it 2 minutes after. And I was like.
Yeah, you called me like immediately. I was in tears already, and I was like, I'm not ready to look at this. And then I turned around and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it's just one. I thought it was both windows. But yeah, my back window, which by the way, I just got a window tint like 4 days prior. Super fun. Smashed in so bad. And I'm like, it is not just like, and it didn't just like shatter, break. It's like in pieces because there's a window tint holding it together.
It was wild. Like, and you can tell that I don't know how that didn't wake you up because they must have hit that 100 times.
I was like, how in the hell did I not hear that?
Like,
I mean,
if the
it had to have been because of my air conditioning unit is right there next to my bed, and it's so loud, and that has to be why. I swear I heard something. And they had to have ran off pretty fast because they left their their tools, which was, I don't know what you would call those things.
Like a lead pipe and a piece of a motor.
I don't know. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Glass all over the place.
Like if I threw that fucking motor or that pipe on a window and it didn't shatter perfectly the first time, I would have been like, nope, I'm out of here.
Not that I've ever tried to do that, but yeah, I don't think I would have repeatedly went at it. And it is clear that he was going pound, 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 pound over and over again, because there's a big, like not a big, but like a significant dent right there in the side of the door, and the whole plastic
whole
interior,
inside panel.
Yeah, the whole inside panel of that door is coming off.
Like not just like, oh, this is off kilter, like it's off.
It is off the whole door. So I'm probably gonna have to get a whole new door. Realistically, they're probably just gonna replace the whole thing. I'm already not loving how it's sounding with Liberty Mutual. They're like, oh yeah, we cover like part of a rental and like
Liberty.
Yeah, I should have known better. You're not really supposed to, I think, go with the insurance company or like the policy holder that, or whatever, policymaker that has the big advertising budget, because you're paying for that.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway.
Unless it's Geico or Progressive, they're the cheapest too. I'm with Geico. They're not very good. They're mean to me. Anytime I've ever had to talk to them, they're like, are you sure you didn't key your own car?
Okay, so I had American Family, and this is big ADHD because we haven't even gotten to the whole thing yet. I had American Family previously, and I thought they were great. You know, things went well every time, you know, because I've gotten in a fender bender too, you know. I totaled my first car. So. But I will say, having to get off of American Family, they don't want to let you go. It's
Really?
a toxic relationship. Yeah, because do you remember when I had my renter's insurance through them for my shitty apartment? And when I moved into this rental house, I was like, hey, so I don't live in that apartment anymore. Can you like stop charging me for that? Ghosted. Nope, no response. I contact them a different way. I contact them so many times. They keep charging me. I pay for like 5 months of this register. It's not like a whole lot, but like I don't have an extra $30, $35 every month to just be throwing at this, right?
Never had renter's insurance.
Yeah, it's not. I think sometimes you can get by without it.
But
and
you
don't
had
say
to have
anything. Yeah, this apartment, like on campus, they really are like, they're diligent about it and they check. So, like I haven't had it this last year.
I think I've had an apartment or two where I've lied and said, yeah, I've got it. And they're like, okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, this place checks and it's ridiculous. So anyways, they keep charging me, eventually to the point where I go online and I take my card information down so that they physically cannot charge me. They send it to collections. Are you kidding me? I contacted them like 3 or 4 times after that too, and it's just like, you guys suck. And then you know, like I got like a new car last year, which by the way, this car that just got like smashed. Oh, and by the way, like 3 weeks ago I got rear-ended too. I forgot to mention that. And then I had a nail in my tire that I just paid to get fixed too. So I'm just not really having good luck with this vehicle within the first year of owning it. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but it's just not so fun. So that's life right now. Yeah. How are you, Brandon?
I'm good. Just been working, been hustling. Every day's a hustle.
Brandon's been busy, booked and busy. But today we're doing a part 2 of the ADHD plant parent, neurodivergent plants, whatever, you know, being neurodivergent with plants.
As you can tell by our 24 minutes of banter as of this exact second.
We love that.
And by banter, really just like hearing about your week. You had a crazy week.
It was kind of nuts, but it's fine. We'll be good. I mean, but the hustle now is trying to get this fixed before leaving for the trip, because I really want to take the car down. Because one, I got them tinted anyways to go down. It's just more comfortable, and we're going to be able to fit more plants in there, more luggage and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Unless your door's still getting fixed, then we'll take my car. And
I know, but still.
It's got the tint. It's got the tint.
Oh, my God.
Although I will have to duct tape the bumper to keep it on.
Can you imagine though? Oh my God. I get car sick really easily though in small cars. So that's my only thing. And it's going to be a long ass drive. So we're circling. I kind of want to touch on why are we circling back to a part 2 and why are we touching on this again? I mean, life has changed a little bit. We did our last episode in like January or something.
Oh my God, that was a while ago.
That was the part 1, which was actually at the beginning of the season, and we will be wrapping up season 2. I think before the trip, or maybe like right around the trip. Like episodes will probably be coming out during the trip of like our last couple ones. But yeah, we've gotten busier since then. Our pest situation is getting worse.
Well, mine's stabilized.
We have more plants to manage pest-wise. There are more volume.
Mine is
of plants.
diversified rather than increased, I'd say.
But you have a lot more propagations now, too, to take care of.
Well, my collection has increased.
Yeah.
My pest problem has diversified into these.
Diversified, yeah. You got everything. You've kind of touched on everything lately. But I just feel like it'd be a good check-in for us, too, just to be like, how can we improve and what's going on?
I think I am on a downward spiral.
I've been shredding water, trying to not drown lately. I was sweaty today. It was hard, and also in our last, I distinctly remember this in our last episode. You hadn't started thinking about being autistic yet, and now we very much believe that you are. Remember?
Oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, definitely.
Yeah, you've been therapized a little bit more too. That's your word.
Oh yeah, therapization is.
It's great.
It's the best thing in the world.
I told some people the other day that you and Sam have the same therapist because I still just can't stop thinking about how you have therapy back to back, and she just hasn't figured it out yet. I don't understand.
I feel like if she does figure out, it's going to be because of me.
I just I run my mouth so much. I would just mention it somehow.
Because
especially because you know what you do is you mention Sam, not just by that, you say her full name. You often say Samantha Fisher. I've never heard
Samantha Page Fisher sometimes.
Yeah, I've never heard someone say someone's first and last full name more than you do. So I just can't believe that hasn't slipped out.
Oh.
It's shocking to me. Speaking of which, she just Snapchatted me. So yeah, we're thinking Brandon's probably autistic, so that's fun. But let's talk about our current plant systems and what we think is working and not. Maybe you need to ponder it, but what do you think?
So my plant system right now is lackluster.
I think that your need to clean the fish tank probably often prompts you to then water the
If
plants.
I didn't have this fish tank, these plants would all be dead.
You were, before your big Paris trip, you were thinking of getting rid of the fish tank. You almost did. You almost took it all down.
Thank God. Well, I mean, I might take it down again. Who knows?
But your little shrimp farm. Brandon has a whole shrimp farm.
It's not a shrimp farm. It's a shrimp
infestation.
It's a shrimp. They're my new thrips.
But it's so
Shrips.
fun. Why don't you just let nature do its thing, or is that bad?
Well, the main thing is because I have such a small fish tank. It's only 15 gallons, and then with the soil and the log, that brings down at least another gallon or two. So it's maybe a 12-gallon tank at best. They poop so much. There's so much poop. Literally, I clean the fish tank, and then within 2 hours, everything's just covered in poop again. Because there's 25 shrimp.
Is there anything that I guess just would get a little bit crowded in there. Is there anything you can get that could eat the poop?
No. Shrimp eat the fish poop, and then they poop the poop from the fish poop.
They're at the bottom of the chain.
It's horrifying. And basically when fish or anything in a fish tank poops, it creates a nitrogen cycle, which is poison, just pure poison for everything in the tank except for the plants.
That's not good. So they poison themselves basically by pooping too much?
Mm-hmm. And you have to do these little tests, and you have to shake them up with the little drops, and then they change color, and you can see how much nitrogen. That's another N1.
I don't know.
And then ammonia. basically like ammonia turns into nitrogen, which turns into nitrite. Nitrite. That's the other one.
Science.
And do I ever test? No. Just constantly sucking poop out of there.
So that's probably what's keeping these plants watered. How is your treating routine going?
But after the bugs, non-existent.
You're like, I'm just waiting until it gets bad again.
There's a couple of those like...
So you haven't sprayed anything down since we had bugs?
The pasta the other day because it had spider mites. Which how it's growing so voraciously when being fully infested.
Fucking God, that thing is out of the pot. It is like a whole foot. Look at those nodes. I remember when that thing was just sticking out of that little plastic pot, and now it is protruding out.
It pops out those leaves every look at how much mass that is, like how thick that stem is. I would say like each of those nodes takes about 3 weeks, and it produces that's like a child's arm.
Oh my gosh. So no treating's going on. It's just a problem waiting to happen. Is that why you feel like you're on a downward spiral because you're just waiting for something bad to happen?
Well, okay, so I think my job kind of changed for a month in July, and I really disassociated like an entire month. Like July just poof started and then it ended. And I don't remember anything in between. Nothing. And I'm recovering from that.
So then how is your repotting routine? I was about to ask you that, and then I was thinking about the fact that like last time you had to do a bunch of repots, I did them all.
I should say you did a large portion of what needed to be done. Now there's just a couple, like my micans and it's mostly the dangly long plants that need to be repotted. Mm-hmm. I did repot Pink Princess today.
Because you had to.
Technically, yeah.
Necessity. And also keeping clean and organized with plant stuff. I mean, you're a clean person in general. I'm the disaster.
Well, I used to be really good at cleaning my plants, like just wiping them off, not even like treating them just like with a cloth, just being like boop, boop, boop. But like today, that Pink Princess had like literally at least this much dust.
A nice thick ass layer.
Gross. I brought it in the sink and sprayed it with the Dawn Power Wash soap.
Amazing. I was using Dawn earlier. My fingernails are really clean because I was doing a bunch of repotting earlier, but then I had to spray a bunch of stuff down. I mean, I sprayed so many plants. I just keep finding thrips.
That I was telling Brent, I was like, so yeah, like Nicole's going to come over. And then she was like, okay, let's go. Second you're done with your appointment, let me know. And then I was like, I snapped her, and then she didn't respond. Finally, she said this one where looks like she's treating her plants. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I was car washing. I told you what I was doing the same thing I was doing when I had last checked in with you.
That's a long ass car wash.
Well, because I had to take a few breaks, and that's what made me think about doing this episode. Because I was like, oh my God, I have to take a break because I was about to pass out. Like I was getting so lightheaded from like running around and like spraying things. I had to take a break. Had to eat a little rice-a-roni, have a scotcheroo. If you don't know what that is, you're missing out. And then I was like, this is why I need like a whole day to do things because I need to take breaks. I can't just like do things start to finish. That's not how it works. This is not how it works. Because when you are neurodivergent, unless this is something else that people are going to write in and be like, you guys should go to the doctor. But we often just like randomly feel ill out of nowhere. You know what I mean? We're just like, I'm about to puke. Just like for no reason. For no reason. So there's just times like that. So things don't always just go as planned with energy levels being all over the place. So I don't know. That can be really tough. I also need to be better at keeping my plant room clean because it's really dirty right now. There's just soil everywhere. I mean, obviously you saw my potting mat is in the car covered in glass like everything else. So
if I had an individual room where it was just plants, like I think the only reason I keep this so clean is because it's my bedroom. Mm-hmm. And I hate wearing socks to bed. And so then I get out of bed and I dip my little footies on the floor.
And the second you feel a piece of dirt, you're like...
And I'm like, ugh! And then I can't even, and even though I keep my room very clean, I sweep it almost every day. I get out of the shower. By the time I get to my sock drawer,
It's all over your.
black feet.
That is like the worst feeling. That's why do you think I wear shoes all over my house? I literally wear slides 24/7. Not anymore now that we just got a rug today finally after like a year. So back at the apartment, I used to be good about like parking myself, taking my shoes off before I walk on the rug. So I only use my shoes like in the rest of the house. So I just think if my plant room were cleaner, I would be a little bit more motivated. You know, when you're like spaced cleaner, you feel better and feel more organized.
Look
and
good,
you
feel good.
Like, yeah. So I'm like,
It applies to spaces.
I need to clean it up in there. Clean it nice and good. There's also like, I lost the giant spider that was living in there. So I've just been like, as I was like pulling plants out and like going to clean them, I was just like, if I find a giant like furry spider in here.
Do you know how much de-spidering I'm going to have to do with these greenhouses?
Disgusting.
When I bring these plants in? I am mortified.
Yeah, you should just probably spray the hell out of them before bringing them in.
Oh, yeah. They're getting fully drenched.
Yeah.
And they're like the wolf spiders. They just...
Don't say that. That's not good. There's, I have a lot of are those like isopod, roly-poly looking things.
I hate those. People think they're so cute, and I'm like, no. No.
They scare me. I mean, we already talked about this earlier, but the grasshoppers right now are horrendous.
I've never seen them this bad.
It's really bad. Sometimes like the dragonflies will get super bad.
I haven't seen a single dragonfly this year.
I don't know when it happens, but I remember one time, like one summer at my dad's up by the lake, it was just like you couldn't even see to the end of the road. It was so many dragonflies. Yuck.
At least they eat mosquitoes. That's their one redeeming quality.
Yeah.
What do grasshoppers eat? They eat the food from the anthills that are just trying to survive.
I don't know. There's a whole ecosystem doing its thing.
That was a Bug's Life reference.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. And humans mess with that ecosystem a lot. It's really freaky.
Speaking of humans messing with the ecosystem, just north of my house, Mississippi Boulevard in Coon Rapids, you need to drive down there. There are some of the most gorgeous yards I've ever seen. And like a very, like, they take like a natural yard and like a very beautiful flowery garden yard,
meadow?
and they mix them together.
Cool.
I got that far on my run today. Man, I ran so far. Coolest yards I've ever seen.
What are you running from, Brandon?
Myself.
Like, trying not to think about things or feel things.
No, actually, running is when I think. My brain will not. I'll just like dissociate and just start thinking about stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, where am I?
Oh my God. I can't. I'd be like, I'm dying. I feel like I'm going to die. I need to get better about like spraying stuff down because, and I think I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I remember mentioning this to somebody recently. When I got new plants as like a new plant parent, I would always bring them home, and every single time I would wipe that whole plant down. I would spray it down top to bottom. I don't do that anymore.
That's never been me.
I used to because I just used to, I don't know, I would just get so excited about a new plant. And I'd be like, oh, yay, I'm going to dust you so that you look as good as possible when I put you in your new little spot, your new little home. I used to do that, and now I never do that. And I think that's why I didn't get pests for a really long time. Just that extra step of like really being diligent and wiping down the entire thing.
Where I'm always like, oh, new plant that I got from a stranger. No clue what's in their house. Let me just shove it in my cabinet next to 20 other plants.
Mm-hmm. I'm usually like right now, and now I just don't give a shit. I just bring stuff home. I chuck it in because everything else has pests. I'm like, whatever. Join the club. Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. But only the strongest survive. And that's not, I think I need to change that a little bit. Not that I need to be like a perfect plant parent, but we have to make plants work for us.
That we do. My plants are just asking me to help them.
I'm excited to see what it looks like in here after you have to bring everything inside.
I am very nervous, thank God.
Well, tell everyone what you're doing with your cabinet situation.
So,
and you should do a TikTok about this, okay?
I should. So today I just was like, shit, I have 4 greenhouses I'm going to have to bring inside. And I have 1 grow tent and I have 1 shelf. And so I was like, oh God, I don't. And I mean, these shelves, there's a lot of room. There's room for plants, definitely. But I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I was like, oh, I should see if there's more IKEA cabinets available on IKEA's website. And there were. So I got 2 more full-size Redstars.
Yay.
And I'm very excited. So I'm going to put 2 of them in my room and put my Millsbow in the office. And I think that will be enough space to harbor all the plants.
I recommend putting your Millsbow on a little rug and dragging it in.
Smart. Actually, I should keep it on that rug because it likes to drip. That Millsbow is so condensation-y.
I thought you were going to say it was constipated. You were so close.
We aren't constipated in this household. The complete opposite problem.
Oh my God.
As the Millsbow represents, just dripping out its asshole at all seconds of the hours of the day.
Brandon's always TMI. He doesn't know any better.
I'm constantly pooping, so.
No, I thought you were going to say you're constantly oversharing, but yep, there it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wrote down, I need to be able to make breaks. I need to make plants fun for myself. I need to keep clean to keep going. Yeah. So I think that's really good.
I think that the reason that I am able to manage so many plants mentally is because I don't, as a quote unquote plant fluencer, record everything I do, which is also a detriment.
Yeah,
but
Brandon would really just be like, oh my God, I gotta record something. What am
I
I
just
gonna
be doing stuff. And then I'm like, oh,
yeah, half the
that
time
would have
I'm
been
just like, you should do a TikTok about that. And you're like, oh yeah, I should.
and I'm like, oh, that would have been a good video. Whoops.
Or I'll literally be like, hey, do you remember that video you filmed? Where is it?
And I'm
I
like,
have not seen it.
and
you're
I'm like, I've never recorded such video. What are you talking about?
no, and you'll be like, I thought I posted that. And I'll be like, you didn't. You didn't.
The amount of TikToks that are probably just in my phone, like just clips that I recorded and just forgot about, countless. Probably have 100 in there.
I can't with you. Oh my goodness. Well, I do want to, this is like, how did we make this a shorter episode? I think it's so funny how we like bantered for half of this and then half is the episode. That's how it works though. It's cool. I do want to tease our big like episode 50 coming up. We're going to do a big Q&A. I think we're going to probably be gathering a lot of questions everywhere. So we're going to take them through the email. If you have a long question,
Yeah.
we're going to take them. We're going to probably post maybe multiple times on the stories.
I think so. Because what episode is this?
We're
That
recording 42 right now.
Okay, so we got 8 episodes. So yeah.
So, and we're going to gather up a lot of these questions, and I'm hoping that we'll get to all of them, unless some of them are stupid. And it can be plant or non-plant related. It can be whatever the heck you want. Obviously, you can ask Brandon anything because he's clearly an open book.
I am. Anything you ask.
It is actually
I will
really bad.
answer.
Like the video that Brandon was passing around on his birthday party, it was really. I was like, good Lord,
yeah,
what is going on?
we're not going to go
here?
that far in the podcast.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, you can pretty much ask us anything. We are pros at oversharing. I think I just overshare stupid information.
Well, I think fortunately we have found a niche that enjoys our oversharing, and they want to know all our little details.
Apparently, for some reason. I'll never understand. Anyways, Brandon, I really hope that you do the state fair with me next year. Are you going to promise?
I will go, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not going to prompt it. You just say, okay, we're going on this day.
I'm going to, like, next year for the plants.
Oh, yeah.
You're entering your plants.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was like, shit, if I was telling Izzy, if I come home with ribbons, Brandon and Sam are going to be really, really sad that they didn't do it.
Well, the fact that there was cash money involved, that is my biggest regret. You know me. I'm very...
Yeah.
I would have
brought like over $200.
I would have brought every plant I owned for a quick buck.
Yeah, and it's free to enter, so why not? And you get a free parking pass for the fair, too.
Literally.
You can sneak
Although
in.
we did get a $17 parking spot. I thought, like 2 blocks away.
Nice. You know what I usually do? The free park and ride.
We tried. The park and ride was full, and then 2
sucks.
miles in every direction. The road was filled.
Did you go on a Monday, though?
Yeah.
Yike. I was like, did you go on a busy day? No, a Monday.
Everyone who was there was like, oh my God, it feels like a weekend.
Maybe because people were trying to avoid the days where it was raining. They're like, we'll just wait till Monday. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe people took the whole week off too. I don't know.
I will say, I was kind of surprised at the Minnesota State Fair because the Wisconsin State Fair is very agriculture forward. And it's like
it's just like a tiny little part of this.
It's like the hickest. And this is what I was telling everyone. I was like, the Wisconsin State Fair is 70% agriculture, 30% food and things. The Minnesota State Fair is 70% food and things, 30% agriculture. And so the Wisconsin one is all full of the little boony hicks. And as a little gay, I felt very unsafe.
Oh my God.
Thought I was going to be hate crimed. This one, there were so many gays. There were gays everywhere. And I looked it up. Was it LGBTQ day? No. That was on the 26th. We went on the 29th, senior day.
Oh, I went on gay day. Was that the first day?
I don't know.
26th?
Yeah.
I think that was the first day. No, wait. That was Friday. Yeah, that was a Friday when I picked up my plans. Anywho, I did just pull up if people are still curious about the state fair, like categories thing.
Oh, I am still curious.
Okay, so technically the separate divisions are like the cactus family. So like, I don't know, so many different things. Prickly pears. I don't know, ribbed, spiky. I don't even know what half these things mean, but they're in their own thing. Succulents are in their own thing with like agave-like plants, aloes, calancho, crassula, all that stuff. Euphorbia is in the succulents category. And then daisy-flowered stuff like Senecio, string of pearls. Senecio, did you know that's the family?
Mm-hmm.
So then the things that I was in, though, and then also there's like a whole category for terrariums. You could bring a terrarium.
Oh, the terrariums were still there.
Mm-hmm. There's like novice.
Brenna was like, "Why didn't you bring yours?" And I was like, "I should have."
What's topiary? Whatever.
Like bushes.
Bonsai has its own thing, and then planter, dish gardens, and fairy gardens has its own thing.
The fairy gardens were kind of sad.
Vines and hanging plants are all together, and it can be a mixed container. You can't have any mixed houseplants together, though. But then, like, collections has its own category. So you can bring, like, a collection of philodendrons. So you can do small collection, large collection. Those have bigger cash prices. So I only did the houseplants category, which includes aroids, asparagus plants, begonias, bromeliads, dracaenas, ferns, figs, insectivores. I did not see any carnivorous plants there, unfortunately. Marantas, oxalis, and then other houseplant favorites. For whatever, most miscellaneous. So I won first place and second place in the aroid category. I won first place in the Maranta category, which is fun. Which is technically not the prayer plant category. They call it the Maranta category, and then it has calatheas, stromanthes, prayer plant. And I'm like, what? Okay. And then I got first place in fern, and then my fern won like the top plant out of all of those plants, out of the aroids, the begonias, dracaenas, bromeliads, ferns, insectivores, marantas, everything.
So you did win the best of show, technically.
In that area, but there's so many other categories still.
Well, is there one that would be like, is that like a semifinal and then there's a final? Like they take the cactus and they take the ferns and they take...
Maybe. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So, because I didn't get best in show or whatever, I got best in section. So I was probably in the running to be the best of the best.
Also, the ribbons were really hard to understand.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense because it said my little thing. Well, it just said special award for my thing, but on my tag they wrote best in section. But section, this is technically, if you look at the list, it's technically best in category. Because technically the houseplant favorites was a whole category, not a whole section. Because technically I was in the individuals section.
So what would have been another section?
I don't know. Another section would have been vines, hanging plants.
Oh, okay.
Terrariums, bonsai, all that stuff. Cacti, succulents. So I think my next year I'm going to try and like do more of those categories too, because I have.
So did you have to
couple
pre-pick
things.
you have to be like, okay, here's this.
No, because
I'm
you can literally
submitting it
show up
for
without
this.
registering and just show up with your plans and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
And you just say, hey, you guys organize this. You pick what you want these to be.
Well, I guess technically you have to know, like they're not going to be like, okay, this is in this family, because they don't know every single plant. They're all volunteers from the Horticultural Society, so they don't know everything. And probably a lot of them have outdoor plant experience, not indoor maybe. But I will say they were all so nice, like so welcoming, very nice, very chill. So like I wasn't really scared at all or intimidated.
Well, that's good, because you know me, I'm scared of everything.
Me too. Yeah. And people, it could have gone either way. Could have been really bad and awkward, and I could have been crying. But I was crying for a better reason, like because I was like, wait, what? And it was really fun, like people taking pictures and like tagging me on Instagram, like, oh, I went inside your plants.
That was
like,
super
that's so
cute.
fun. So I do highly recommend. And you know what's fun is like you can just do it. There's a lot of like other things that you can enter into the fair that are a lot more competitive, where maybe you would have to win like first place at a county fair before being able to do it at the state fair. So it's really cool to just be able to bring your plants and not have to win anything previously. So just go do it. Go participate. You could win a bunch of stuff. Who cares? Because I didn't bring any like super fancy plants. I mean, my Pluto, I guess, would be like the more uncommon one that I brought. But my Rabbit's Foot Fern got the big award for me. So just a basic little $10 plant. My Maranta was just my variegated Maranta. Still, I paid like $15 for it. And then what was the other one? That one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and then my one that got first place in Philadelphia was just my neon hanging one. So yeah, apparently it was impressive.
It would have been like, this is too stringy.
Yeah, and Kaylin was like, you should have put that in the hanging plants category. And then I was like, well, good thing I didn't, because I won first place in aeroids. Oh, Brandon, you just broke that.
I think it was already broke.
Cut it at the top. It has potential. That little.
Enjoy.
Oh my god, I already have a graveyard of these.
Don't get leaf crinkles on my bed. It's already full of CC litter.
Why do cats do that? Why did they like keep it in their paws and then release it?
It's okay because I get out of bed in this and I like leave this little area, and this is like where she likes to lay to look at the Samantha Fisher treats.
I see Samantha Fisher. You just called her Samantha Fisher.
And so I'll come home if I don't make my bed, and it's just like a circle of hair and litter every day.
Oh my goodness. So there's Grand Champion, Reserve Champion, and Special Awards. I don't know, which doesn't make sense. But it was fun. I'm excited to do it again.
You guys do it in 2024, because 2023 is my year.
Right? It's like I'm blowing you all out of the water. I will say though, because someone was asking me on TikTok, like, "Oh, what's the odds of like getting a pest while you're there?"
Hi.
Apparently, hi. I'm really glad I didn't mention it in the video, because did you see the Minnesota Horticultural Society shared my TikTok as a reel? They posted it on.
Oh,
Instagram,
I think I did see that.
and I was like, "Good thing I didn't mention the pests while I was there." So, anyways, we were there the day of. Or I was there with the plant pals. I met up with a couple other plant people that had plants there to look at the exhibit while it was going on. And we were looking at this big thematophyllum that showed up, just like whatever that like philodendron hope lickety split thing, and it's just looking kind of pitiful. But they look like shit half the time anyway, so I didn't think too much about it. It was just yellowing here and there. And Kaylin's like, "Do you think maybe this has a pest?" And I look on it and I was like, "Oh, yeah." And immediately, of course, I'm like, "There's the thrips right there." I see them. I spot them.
It's got the thrips. It's got the thrips.
God, I can't imagine a more disgusting thing. That's so frustrating. So I see them, and the judges saw them too. Here's the thing: you're supposed to be. It says online you're supposed to be disqualified if you have like a pest problem or something, infestation. This person got an honorable mention, and on their scorecard, it said check for small black bugs, small black insects. The judges saw them. If they wrote that on there. And then they left that plant there, practically overlapping leaves with a couple of mine. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I had that shit at home, so I'm not too concerned. But I'm like, that's not cool. They left it there all day next to everybody else's plants. That's not cool. So that was the one downside. One thing that was not super cool.
I'm currently getting a call from Australia.
That's not good. What, are you in trouble over there?
Apparently.
Or do you have like little boyfriends over in Australia?
No.
No.
My child was eaten by a dingo.
Well, should we talk about our social media and then corn song and out of here?
Absolutely positive. Well, wait, before we do that, let's
we
get
have a
into a
review.
review.
We have a review. We need a review song.
It's got the review. It's got the review.
No.
Okay.
What is it? What is the review? Are you gonna read it?
I thought you were like, nope, that's an unacceptable review song. You need to try again. And I was like, that was my one and only shot.
What do you got?
Okay, so we got a podcast. It says great podcast. Wow, I am
Great podcast.
You really threw me off my groove. Now I'm like, whew, okay. Take a deep breath. Anyway, so it says it's from Mackenzie Dawn. That's the name. It says, I love listening to you guys. I've been taking little notes and I've learned so much along the way. Oh my gosh, you can take notes? You can make notes out of this gibberish that we do? Proud of you, girl.
That is amazing.
I listen to you guys on the way to work and back. Do you guys have any sphagnum moss brands you recommend? Where do you buy your moss?
You know, I got this question when I was at work the other day. Everybody's looking out for moss. We've been trying different brands on Amazon here and there, but like there's a moss shortage.
Yeah, the
there's
best
an issue.
The best grow is the best one in my opinion, but now it is so expensive that it is not worth the price.
Yeah, things are expensive. New Zealand sphagnum moss is usually what you're gonna want to be looking for. Sometimes I just keep trying different Amazon ones and they show up and they're stinky.
Ew. Well, what I've been doing is I've just been doing Equigenaire imports, and they have really good moss, so I just
use it.
I keep the moss.
You're like, I will take that. So, yeah, thank you very much for your review. We appreciate it very much. Go leave us a 5-star review on, is it Apple?
Apple and Spotify, and there's probably one on Google, but I've never looked at Google.
Someone will find out.
We don't get that many listens on Google.
Oh, is Google Podcasts a thing?
It is, and it's not very popular.
Oh, Google wants to do everything.
Google-a-voo.
Where can people find you on the interwebs, Brandon?
You can find me on the TikTok, the Instagram, the I think I technically have a Facebook. I've never talked about it before. The YouTube, and I think that's it. Brandon Botanical. You can shop my plants, www.monsteraplant.co, which is also the username, monsteraplant.co. You can find us at Where Are We Growing or wherearewegrowing.com. And where can they find you, Nicole?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest at Nicole Larson Grows. I'm going to have a website soon, but, you know, you started too early, Brandon. It doesn't it's not a whole thing. It has the juice. Can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
It's called.
I could tell you all about it.
I mean, look at this thing. And when I tried it with butter, everything changed. You have to really sing it like a. How old is he? 5, 2? I don't really. I don't know.
2. I'm bad at ages, and that is.
He could honestly be 3, could be 7.
I would have to say
really
9.
Sure. 9
Because
no.
he is missing some teeth.
Yeah, but
And
like you can still.
When I was missing my front 2 teeth, I was 9.
People lose their teeth in kindergarten. That's 6. That's 5 or 6.
I don't.
Well, now we got to Google because this kid's going viral. So how old is the corn song kid? Now we're at this is the bonus ending, y'all.
Surprise! You get the corn song thrice.
No, you get assaulted with your ears. Corn. Oh my God! Literally, if you look up corn on Google, the third thing that comes up is corn kid. Corn kid age.
Oh my God, I saw a tweet and it said this kid is going to be so sick of corn by the time this is all over, and it was him doing an ad. Oh my God, I gotta find it.
Yeah, he did. He did Chipotle.
Yes,
He
that's
did
what it
Chipotle
was.
ad. I did see that, and everyone in the comments like, he better have gotten paid for this. He better have gotten a check. You better pay him.
Also, how did all of these brands, like even the Minnesota State Fair, how did they make a commercial with that song like 2 days after it came out, and it was on the air on television?
I don't know. They've got like their social media team works hard.
I thought the devil worked hard, but the Minnesota State Fair social media team works harder.
Let me see here. Okay, I don't even have Twitter anymore. Somebody tell the parents of that kid that $400 for... They got paid $400 from Chipotle.
What?
I mean, this is just a random TikTok. But someone tell the parents of the corn kid that $400 for a video for $1 billion company is incredibly low, and you could be charging 5 figures at minimum.
There's no way they only paid $400.
That's insane.
Because it's not just his voice. He's like in it, like live on location.
People know what he people know his voice.
Because because it just showed the sides. It didn't show his face until the end, and then I was like, oh my God, it is him. I thought they were just using the audio.
Okay. So this is, it could have been different, but she found this off of like a website that says Corn Kid. Okay. I think his name is Tariq. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Tariq is available for cameos, but it says he's offering personalized videos ranging from 145 to corporate videos for 400. So I think they're assuming that corporate video for Chipotle would be 400, but I hope it would be way more than that. And he also better have a celebrity Chipotle card and be eating corn for life there. Because
they did that, right? Like you could buy a card and buy.
Yeah, you can have like a celebrity Chipotle card or something, and it just gets you like free Chipotle for life or something, or maybe it's just a big discount. I really don't know what the thing is. This girl did a whole thread about this on Twitter.
Anyway, we'll let you guys be. We'll follow up with more corn. Wait, you just jaw dropped. What?
Cameo.com, you can go get an actual cameo for $220 if you want to buy one for like a little birthday jingling thing.
Why aren't we on Cameo?
Who the fuck wants a cameo with us?
Okay,
every time I see people I'm sorry. Every time I see like nobodies from TikTok on Cameo, I'm like, oh, you desperate poor bitch.
We're giving away cameos for free in the Instagram messages.
Yeah, no,
literally, I can't be
nothing special.
I can't be bothered to type, so I'm like sending voice memos and videos to people.
Literally, yeah. I send videos to people I really don't know when they're asking me questions. I'm like, okay, here's the thing, friend, and I'm like sending them videos like I send you Snapchats. Like, so.
So we obviously need to do the Instagram subscribers.
Do we?
No.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to figure out how old he is. I really can't figure it out. But, you know, when we do, I'm going to be more right than you are, because 9, you're crazy. Tariq, corn kid. Okay. Can we get an age? I mean, I know it's probably like protected, but hello. We should probably like end this, don't you think, Brandon?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
one more time for the people at the end here. Sing it with us, friends.
Ready?
If you know it.
Here we go.
Yeah. I really love corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn. A big lump with knobs. It's got the juice. It has the juice.
Can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's cold. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it with butter, everything changed.
Amazing.
Anyway, okay. Love you guys.
Cheers, friends. Have
Thank
a
you
good week.
so
See
much
you
for
next
listening.
week.
Bye.